Here, time we are talking to you, I really came to tell you the most exciting experience in my life.
Hello, Mary. Really interesting. I want to hear you. But when you finished, I want to tell you my experience.
Remember when I traveled to the United States for the first time. It was an unforgettable trip. I went with my parents and siblings. I remember that it was our first time traveling together to a different country. It was a little hard because there are not one, nor two, nor three, but 10 of us. We traveled around December. Firstly, we got to Cartagena because our flight head to Miami was from there. When we arrived to Miami, I remember that we had rent a car and we got lost because we didn't anything. And with the little English that we knew, we asked the people that we saw that maybe they could guide us to the hotel. They told us how supposedly we get there in 10 minutes. We actually took 2 hours to the trip to get to the hotel. They told us how supposedly to get there in 10 minutes. We actually took 2 hours to get to the hotel. So much time. When we arrived to the hotel, we were tired but amazed about how beautiful and different Miami was. In that city, we toured the city and we went to the malls and obviously we went shopping. We also swam to the beaches of Miami Beach. After that, we went to Orlando, Florida, which the car that we had rented it was actually easier. In Orlando, we stayed at the Disney Hotel. It was extremely beautiful. In particular, I felt like a fairy. We toured the hotel, and in only 1 week, we visited the different Disney theme parks. I remember something funny happened to us. There was this time that was sunny outside. We put on warm clothes, shorts, and fresh things, and it turned out that later that day it was going to rain. We have no luck with the weather. In the parks, we went to many roller coasters and we got lost because Disney parks have many people, but somehow we met again. I remember that one time in December 25, my dad was wishing to my brothers and me a Merry Christmas, but when he was going to tell of one of my sisters Merry Christmas, she was no longer with us, but later, thank God, 4 or 5 minutes we found her. It was a little stressful because she was crying desperately, but in a way, we were laughing a lot. It was a beautiful experience. I remember that we met many Disney characters. In general, we enjoyed a lot. We also traveled from there, Orlando to North Carolina, where we made a short stop to rest because we need to arrive to our next destination that was which was New Jersey. The next day, we continued with the trip. We arrived in Washington and we also visited some places like the White House and also museums. When we finally arrived to New Jersey, we finally can rest well. The next day, we took a train to New York, and when we arrived, we got a bus where they give us a tour of all the emblematic places that New York had. By the end of the day, they left us in a place that we could see the Statue of Liberty from afar. I remember December 30, 31, and when we were in New Jersey and it started to snow. It was the most beautiful experience in the trip because it was the one of my mother's dream and well of us. I remember that in that night we went to Times Square and it was very cold and all my siblings were very young. So we returned to New Jersey again. Me and my family wishes each other a happy new year, and we realized that we miss very much the traditional happy new years of Colombia because in New Jersey at the moment was very quiet. And so on January 2nd, we returned to Miami because we were going to spend the last nights in the States. We rent a house. So we rent the car in the park that is in front of it, which was a parking lot where there was no surveillance. But since it was the United States, we thought that nothing was going to happen. But well, at the end of every trip, something must happen. After all the purchases that we had made on the trip, that we also left in the car, by the way, with the suitcases, because the next day we are leaving, and it turned out that when my dad went to get something from the car, our suitcases were not there, nor were our purchases. So the trip ended with a robbery, unfortunately. But we were really happy with the wonderful opportunity we had had. Finally, in the morning, we got up and got a plane that was going directly to Barranquilla, Colombia.
Mary, it was very, very funny. And I got that you have known many places. But now, I just saw this scarf that reminds me when I participated in the spelling bee. The history with this scarf is very simple. I used this scarf in my eyes. And this experience, it was relevant and meaningful for me. Also the most recent because it was in this year when I lost my fears and I decided to participate in a national spelling bee competition. I can remember each round, the words, the people with I fought, and how exciting it was. And the most important thing, I got over it. It wasn't easy. The people was very good and very smart, and I lost. But in the process, I won many things. And for example, I learned more vocabulary, like neuroscientist, archaeological, uh, fearful, and more examples, and I met a lot of people. Bertie, Cardona, Maximiliano. Um, oh, sure, I reached the semifinals. The effort was worth. Also, Mary, I want to tell you about the different stages of the spelling bee. In the first stage, I remember that I was so scared because I feel intimidated by the other participants. But I didn't feel like this, so I calmed down and I empowered myself. In fact, this stage was so easy compared to others, and obviously I did it well. In the second stage, the jury said that they had an unknown list of words. In the case that the participants will say all the words on the other list, they will use these unknown words, and indeed they used this list because no one lost and the words ran out. It, and oh my god, I have no word with this because I took the in this stage I would lose. But in the moment when I heard the word irascible in Spanish, irascible, is it is written in the same way. My heart started to beat, and oh my god, I have no words. My heart started to beat, and I spelled the word well, and so I so I started to cry. Okay, Mary, I will continue with my experience, but it's raining. Sorry for the noise. I hope the internet don't fail. In the third stage, the semifinals, in the last to me, was very difficult and weird because I felt it fast. Although I lost, although I lost in the fifth round, and again, the unknown list of words was used, and I lost for a word to this day I don't know, and I didn't hear well. Five now, 5-9, finally 5-9, 5-9. I don't know. Uh, but the example was when you exceed the limit. I don't know. I only know the pronunciations. um. Oh yes, I took a picture and I uploaded. I uploaded it to Instagram and I have 17 likes. And also, they sent me a certificate for my participation.
Wonderful experience. You could learn a lot. I hope we can meet soon to tell more stories.